Sri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasata Dasatarini Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we dedicate this presentation to His Divine Grace Siva Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And we read from Gita Mahatmya by Sankaracharya. We like to request Komati Mataji, you like to read? Unmute yourself. Unmute your Mataji. Unmute. Okay.
Sarvo Upanishadu Gavo Dukha Gopala Nandana Partha Patsya Sudhi Bhakta Duktam Gita Amitam Mahat. All the Upanishads are like a cow, and the milker of the cow is Lord Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda. Arjuna is the calf. The beautiful nectar of the Gita is the milk, and the fortunate devotees of fine theistic intellect are the drinkers and the enjoyers of that milk.
Yeah, thanks, Madhi. So, so very nicely is Sankaracharya described here. Of all the Upanishads are like a cow, Upanishad. So Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad. Yeah, it's also Upanishad, Gita Upanishad, and this is like milker. Krishna is of all the Upanishads are like a cow. So this is cow. So the milker is a cow of is Krishna, Lord Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. So Arjuna is a calf, and the beautiful nectar of Gita is milk. So the milk out of cows, the nectarians is the milk. Milk actually is good for, in Ayurvedic it says milk is good. Prabhupada also used to say the milk is nourished brain tissue. So it's developed a spiritual intelligence actually. So just like developing spiritual intelligence, same as well by hearing Bhagavad Gita, it's just like a milk. It's a fortunate devotee, a fine theistic intellect and drinkers and enjoyers of that milk. So the devotees are, the intellect devotees are enjoying this, just like Arjuna hearing Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, so he's enjoying. So we are in the chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. So we have seen the last chapter of chapter 5. Krishna says, Bhaktara Mege Tapasham Sharuroku Maheshwaram. So Krishna gave a formula of peace, isn't it? A universal peace formula. Not only work in devotion, but as a result to obtain the Ashtanga Yoga. So now Krishna speaks on Ashtanga Yoga. Since Krishna has says that Arjuna asks, how can we do that? How can we attain that Bhaktara Mega Tapasham, which means the pank of, free from the pank of miseries. So in order to free from this pank of miseries, how to develop that consciousness of peace. So now Krishna speak on Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga. So actually Krishna is giving options, few options for us. Not only so you have to follow this, but he gives several options so that Arjuna could assumes that what he has to practice. So we will be seeing here in this chapter mainly yoga, dhyana. Dhyana means meditations. Yoga unite with the Lord. So we'll be seeing here. We like to request. This is mind. So yoga means controlling the mind, basically. Yeah. So, so now Krishna, what Krishna is telling about the mind. So, Sharmini Mataji, you like to read this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jita anatmanastu satrutve vartet tatmaiva satruvat.
Yeah.
For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thanks, Mataji. So the purpose of yoga is to control the mind. That's mind and senses. So first, we have to control the mind. So when you are not, when we have conquered the mind is become the greatest friend, the best friend. You see, actually, mind is the best friend. But for one who failed to do so, the mind will be the greatest enemy. We have seen sometimes people like they want to achieve something. So let's say even some, I heard some youths, Indian youths, they want to achieve in their SPM or some some SPM. They wanted to get a straight A's, or some or other. This expectation, because the parents, the family, the friends, they were expecting, oh, you can do it, you can achieve that straight A's. So some or other they didn't get straight A's, they get only 1B and all others A. So they are not satisfied. So this is boggling their mind. Wow, I didn't achieve that. I didn't achieve that. Wow. So when we are so much engrossed in that, I had to achieve the goal. But we have forgotten that when we are not understand what is the goal. Our goal of life is not getting A's. So then mind will say, okay, your failure, you do this. When when you follow the mind, the unconquered mind will say, okay. Then finally they commit suicide. This is the SPM students, the secondary schools. So I mean, even youngsters, and when people also failure some career, they also gives the mind, the uncontrolled mind, and they fail to do. So they end up in commit suicide. It become greatest enemy. The mind say, oh yeah, you do this, you do that. Even somebody is going to steal. Somebody caught in the caught by police. So they suffer. So because of the mind is so much. So that's why Krishna say, higher than senses is mind, higher than mind is intelligent, higher than intelligent is soul. So it means we have to come up, use our intelligence, because the mind activity is sankalpa vikalpa. Mind is accepting and rejecting. That's all. The mind's function. Whether this is good, it doesn't discriminate. Only intelligence will discriminate. My mind is say, okay, I'll do it. This is for enjoyment. My enjoyment, I'll do it. It's for my purpose, I'll do it. So the mind will say. But when you use intelligence, so intelligence means discriminations. So whether it's valid to do or not valid to do. So we must intelligence. So the intelligence comes from the direction of the super soul of the Paramatma. And that's guided, the Paramatma will guide the soul. So that's why we have to connect it to yoga. in order to realize this Paramatma, the Super Soul. So the process to connecting them is by yoga. So there's a different type of yoga Krishna describing, and this is here in Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana means meditate on the Ashtanga platform. Niyama, asana, self-control, all these are leading to control the mind, actually. But we'll be seeing here, just like mind is like a genie. You may hear this story, you know, long stories about long ago, this genie in the bottle. So there's the genie, so he has to work. Genie given some work, as he said to his master, I will eat the honor. You see the honor. So if you're not engaging me, I will eat you, eat up, you know. So then the genie told the owner. So the owner has an idea, okay, we have to be engaged. How to engage? Because our mind also is just like a genie in the bottle. Genie come out, and then the idle mind devil workshop. If there's no engagement, the mind will devour. Idle mind devil workshop. Yeah, Prabhupada used to say, idle mind devil workshop. So similarly, this genie, so if you're not engaging properly, you will devour the owner. So then what he did, the owner says, okay, you get this bamboo shoot, bamboo trees. So you climb up, come down, climb up, come down, climb up, come down, climb up, down, up, down, up, down, until I give you service, until I give you work to do. So then, so the genie very happy. So he was climbing up, down, up and down, you know. So in this way, it will be engaged. So the genie, similarly, the mind is like a genie. If we are not engaging the mind, what will happen? The mind will be devourers. The mind will eat us. The mind is the greatest enemy, as Krishna says here. So we have to engage our mind in different activities. Sometimes we try to engage. We think that is good activities, but we may end up in some other activities. So that's why the best of the engagement of the mind is manmana man bhakto. Manmana means think of him, think of the Lord. That's why we are chant. So remember the Lord, speak about him. So in this way, the mind will be engaging. And we further, Krishna also explained on Astanga Yoga. In this verse, this chapter 6, 11, and 12, Krishna explained this. Sauchadesh. Who would like to read? Maybe this verse, very nice verse. Manivaran Prabhu? Was it
Hi,
right?
Prabhu. Suchau desa pradistabhya stiram asanam atmana nati uchitam nati nicham chailajina kusotaram tatraikagram mana kratva yada chitendriya kriya upavisyasane yunjiyat yogam atma visuddhaye. Oh, that's difficult.
Yeah.
To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusa grass on the ground and then cover it with a deer skin and a soft cloth. The seat should be neither too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart by controlling his mind, senses, and activities and fixing the mind on one point.
Yeah, thanks, bro. So So this is Astanga Yoga. Astanga Yoga means you have to look for Socha Desh. Socha Desh, the practice of yoga. One should go to a secluded place and lay a kusagras. Kusagras, kusagras in the ground and cover with a deer skin. Why is deer skin mentioned? So deer skin or lion skin. So they put and they sit there so to away the reptiles. So the reptiles won't disturb. It's like a snake won't come, snake or insect, they won't come. And they smell the deer skin or lion skin. So the yogi, they do that. And then they meditate. And it should neither too high or too low, situate in the sacred place. And then the sitting position. And then they purify, they control their mind, senses. And they have to see the tips of the nose. Cannot close the eye. Later, the latest verse will be mentioning. So, like this, this is done by Dhruva Maharaj. This is Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj actually is a Kshatriya son, the king's son. So Dhruva Maharaj's father named Uttanapada. It's the story from Srimad Bhagavatam. He was son of Uttanapada. So he got two wives. One is Suniti and Suruchi. So each had one son. So Dhruva was a son of Suniti. So Suniti actually she's a first wife, and the second wife is Suniti, Suruchi. So Suruchi said, you have to, because Dhruva Maharaj wanted to sit in the lap of his father. So the father, just like his stepfather brother, so he like Suniti say, you have to be qualified. You have to be qualified to sit in your father's lap. Means he says, you have to be born in my womb, then only you can sit in the father's lap. So he become very, sad, and he say, then he told his mother, Dhruva Maharaj, so very disappointing. I cannot sit in my lap. So this was 5 years old, no? So it's young Kshatriya's blood. He say, I want, so he taken, wow, I want better, what do you call, better kingdom than my father. I want a bigger kingdom. I want to have this. So he has some desire to have this. So that's why he did meditation. He went to ask his mother where to find, how to do and how. Then the mother says, you have to go and see Lord Narayana. So Narayana will help you. So Dhruva Maharaj asked mother where to find Narayana. Narayana is in the forest where all the yogi meditate. So you go and see and you will get the darshan of him. So then, so determined. So Dhruva Maharaj went and he did Astanga Yoga. He did tapasya. Hiranyakashipu also did tapasya. He did tapasya for 60,000 years. But in 4 months, Dhruva Maharaj went to the forest and then he approached Narada Muni was there. Narada Muni said, what do you want? I want to look for Narayan, how to do meditate in the forest. Then Narada Muni said, you are young boy, you can play with the kids. Then Dhruva Maharaj say, if you can help, you show me how to do. Otherwise, I'm looking for Narayana by myself. So because of seeing his determination, Narada Muni sees there's a determination. So he gave a mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So he once chanted the mantra and then was meditating. And then was his severe austerity. Within 4 months, he was first month he was eating leaf, And then another month you will see water only, and then the following month you just drink air. You just air, and then within 4 months he able to achieve, able to what they call have a darshan of Narayana. So then he achieved that perfection. Perfection means actually he wanted a planet bigger, higher, bigger than his father. But after seeing Narayan, so he says, I was looking for a broken glass, but I got a jewel after seeing Narayana. So he was realized. That's why he given a separate planet called Dhruva planet. It still exists. It's an eternal place within this universe. There's a Dhruva planet. So the Lord created for him, Dhruva Maharaj, by performing Astanga Yoga. So he achieved. But this is not easy, not practical to everyone. You see? So because for modern age, if you want to find a Socha days is a secluded place, or you want to find a holy place here, it's very difficult building all over there. So you want to do Ashtanga, is troublesome for all. Maybe I don't know on how many you can do here. Right? Here also this described here. Samam kaya siro grivam Narayanam achalam stira Samprakshaya nishkagram swam Visasjanavalokaya Prashatatma vigathabir Brahmacharya vratistita Manaha samyamya vasachito Yukta ashitamatpara. Bhagavad Gita 6:13 and 14 translation. So would you like to read this translation? Aniza Mataji, you like to read translation?
Sure, Prabhu. One should hold one's body, neck, head, attract in the straight line and strap steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with the unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life.
Yeah, thanks. So, you're possible to do this, Mataji? Practical?
No.
Yeah. So, actually, this is a description of Astanga Yoga. Because Arjuna wanted to know what is Dhyana Yoga, how to do it. So, Krishna now describing all these yoga process. You must know, this is not ultimate. Although it's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, but we will be seeing the conclusion, what Arjuna tried to say, the following verses, you must know. So this is a process of yoga, how to do, you meditate, you have to, so how much this is easy to do from the time I have sat, I'm moving, because even you can't sit for a while, we always sit in the chair, so you can't sit in the Padmasana, so difficult. So how to do this? So especially in this age, only certain people may able to do, but not all old people or young people, or children, so they can't do this. So let's see what Arjuna say. Yeah. So what Arjuna conclude after Krishna described this Astanga Yoga. So let us hear from Som Subra Prabhu. You like to read?
Yes.
Possible?
Yeah. Arjuna Ubacha. Yo yam yogas tave prokta samyana madhusudana itaswaham na pasyami chanchalavat stihim stiram. Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, The system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady.
Steady, yes. Thanks, Prabhu. See, so this is what Arjuna said. Oh, Madhusudana. Madhu means king, the killer of the demon Madhu. So Madhusudana. So Arjuna saying here, Madhusudana means Madhusudana, the killer of the demon Madhu. So similarly, he has his doubt. He's hunting like a demon. So he said, Krishna Madhusudana, please, the system of yoga which we have summarized appear to impractical. It's not practical for him. Arjuna saying this is not practical. Arjuna is a great personality, the supreme archer. Even he can control the wind. Arjuna, just by his shooting an arrow, Mahabharata is mentioned, by shooting an arrow, Arjuna could control the wind. But he said, this kind of system I can't, even I can't control my mind. It's difficult to control. The mind is restless and unsteady. So how are you going to meditate? How are you going to do this? Because it's so strong, mind, because we have experienced, the mind is our greatest, everything is on the mind, everything we do. So sometimes distress, sometimes you're happy, sometimes, all carried by mind. Because of course, you have to come up slowly by the practice. Krishna, what Krishna, in the next verse, Krishna say, the following verse, yes, it definitely is not practical. Arjuna say, yes, Krishna say, yes. But what Krishna say here is, Ramanik Prabhu, you'll have to read.
Okay. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Asam Sayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasina tu Kauntiya Vairagyena cha Grihayati. Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Practice, practice, practice. Make us perfect. Practice make perfect. Krishna say here, oh my dear son, undoubtedly it's very difficult. Yes, definitely is difficult to curb the mind, restless mind. Mind is like a monkey, you jump here, jump there, do this, do that, So it's restless. So, but here, Krishna say we have to practice. But it's not possible. How? By two things, practice, jnana and vairagya, practice and detachment. So some detachment you need. How to detach? We are so much attached here in this material world. So how to detach? Anyone have any formula? Anyone like to say anything about detach? How to detach? So you have to attach something. So how to detach? Simple.
Prabhu, Namasmarana?
Yeah, but simple example. I give a simple example. Let's say, yeah, that is also help, Mataji. But the simple process, you see, so if you are riding a cycle, riding a cycle. So when you got a motorbike, what you will do? What you will do? Automatically detach from cycle, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So you automatically, slowly, you are detached from cycle. Because in the beginning you are attached to cycle. You want to ride cycle. But if when you got motorbike, so you are detached from cycle. Then when you got car, what happened to the motorbike? You are detached, isn't it? You are detached from motorbike. You are attached to the car. So maybe proton car, then you got a BMW, so you attach the BMW, then the proton. So it's like it's go higher and higher and higher. So when you get higher, so you won't go for lower. You're detached from the lower stage. Similarly, Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita, Param Distvani Vartante, Nirahara Sadena, Rasam Asoya, Param Distvani Vartante. It says Param Distvani, Param means high. When you get higher taste, then you won't go for lower taste. So how to get the higher taste? By controlling the mind, by practice. Yeah. By practicing. So you're able to get the high taste by chanting, as you say, Namasmaranam, chanting, remembering, so we can detach from this chain of material existence by experiencing the higher spiritual practice, spiritual realization. So slowly we can detach from this attachment, and by detach from the attachment only we are able to control the mind. Otherwise the mind cannot be controlled. You have simple detachment you need. So much attachment. Why people are angry? Because of so much attachment. Raja Vidya Rajagoyam Pavitra Idam Uttamam. Krishna say, no, Raja Vidya, no, sorry. He says that verse, Dayata Pushaya Pamshat, Sangas Paja Sajayate, Sanja Sanjayate Kama, Kama Krodha Vijayate, Kama Krodha Vijayate. He says, by contemplating the sense object, so you want to enjoy that mind contemplating. When you contemplate, so you develop attachment. So when you develop attachment, what is this? Lust arises. When the lust arises, when it's not satisfied, anger arises. When anger comes, delusion. When delusion comes, you fall down again this material world. See how this contemplation is the mind. When the mind is contemplating some sense of joy, some joy, so they drag you down. So that's why the mind should be engaged. So when the mind be engaged properly by practicing yoga process system, so then it's help us detach from the some unwanted habits. So the only way we can elevate ourselves. Otherwise, the mind will drag and pull down us in the material world, and then we are entangled. So then again we are suffer due to the uncontrolled mind. So that's why here Krishna tried to say you have to perform yoga, dhyana yoga, to come up, bring up the level, bring up the mind, bring up the self, the help of the mind. With the help of the mind, the soul has to elevate by the help of the mind. And how? By practice. Perfect. Then Krishna, Arjuna asks, if, let's say, Krishna, let's say, if we are not successful, what will happen? So that is Arjuna asking. So we are trying to practice and practice. If you practice, you are not successful, a yogi. You're not, what is the result? That is what Arjuna asks. Now, what is the result? Anyone knows what is the results of one who not successful? We are trying to attempt, but we are trying to attempt to achieve the perfection, but we are in the way, in the line, we are failed. So what will happen? Anyone knows?
Entanglement with materialistic world.
No, what will happen when you are not achieve that perfection? You are trying, actually, you are trying. You are trying to perfect yourself. You are trying to practice, you are trying to, but
usually you will get frustrated and give up.
No, what's the result of your practice? Result. So the next verse you can see here. Yes, this is the verse Krishna is saying. The yogi, this nice, So Anupu Malar Mataji, you like to read? Anupu Malar.
Yes. Apragya punya kritam lokan usitva sasvade sama Suchinam Sri Madam
Kimatam Gehe
Gehe Yoga Brashto
Brashto Vijayate.
Jayate.
Yeah.
The successful yogi after many, the unsuccessful yogi
Yogi.
after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy.
Yeah. So Krishna said there's no loss. Even your practice, even you become unsuccessful, it's like a riven cloud. Riven cloud, you know, riven cloud. Riven cloud is a small cloud in the sky. There's a small cloud. It can be swept away by wind, riven cloud. So some like that, we are practice yogi. Yogi is like you do perform Astanga yogi. This is for any yogis. Any yogi, it can be Astanga yogi, it can be Bhakti yogi. If you are unsuccessful, let's say we are practice Bhakti yogi, Bhakti yoga, but you are unsuccessful. So what will happen? You will take a birth in the aristocratic family, rich family or pious family. Just like in India, this is Ambani, Mukesh Ambani, the millionaire, Reliance owner, is one of the billionaire in India. So they may, just it's an example. We are not saying they are yogi in previous life. Just for example, we are giving. So these rich people, aristocratic family, pious people. So the previous life they may be a yogi, unsuccessful yogi. So this life they enjoy their ability in the material world. They have been everything been provided because of the practice of yoga in previous life. So, or if the next verse, yeah, this is a nice verse also. And what will happen? Sumati Mataji, you like to read?
Okay, Babu. Atva yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatnam etaddi durlabhataram loke janmaya itrisam. Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world.
Yeah, thanks, Marie. So it means, or if unsuccessful after long practice, means long practice yoga, is take birth in the family of transcendentalists. Transcendental means spiritualists who are practicing surely great in wisdom. So like the devotee, yeah, this boy, you see, he take birth in the family of devotee. And then from the beginning, he got a chance to hear the holy name. He got a chance to take prasadam, Krishna prasadam. So he able to associate in the environment, transcendental environment, spiritual environment. And you can see some young, small children, even sometimes they send WhatsApp, you can see that the kids, the small kids, they can recite mantra, they can play instruments, yeah, they are intelligent, they can predict the astrology, so many talented, because in the previous life, they were yogi, a greatest yogi. So they are born again, because maybe they are unsuccessful yogi. So they're born in this transcendentalist family, children. So these children from the beginning, they can see their talents. They can play instruments, they can sing well, if they can play harmonium. So all these talents are from the previous life, and yeah, they will continue back. Actually, what Krishna mentioned here, whatever we do, there's no niya bigrama nasakti prattavayo nivatiri solpam apasya dharmasya tarayato mahayato bayat. It means literal endeavor. There's no loss or domination in this part. Little endeavor can save one from the most dangerous type of fear. The most dangerous type of fear is death. So the cycle of birth and death. So again, and become animal. So because we have so much fear. So, but this practice of yoga, the practice of transcendental, this always bring us up. There's no loss. It's a bank balance, you know. So it's always bring us up and up and up. So, and Krishna concludes in this chapter, chapter 647. Krishna concludes this very famous verse. Who like to read? Maybe again, repeat again, maybe. Komati Mataji, would like to read again?
Yoginam api sarvesham mat
Kattarantara
atmana Satavan bhajati yatmam sami yukta tamo mata. And of all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is most intimately united with me in yoga and in the highest of all. That is my opinion.
Yeah, thanks, Madhuri. So this is the opinion of Krishna. So this Krishna concludes this chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, concluding that Yoginam api sarvesham atmana, atmana, one who always abide in me, always about in me, thinking of me, worshipping me, talks about him a lot. By doing so, the transcendental loving service, then by engaging himself within render transcendental loving service. So Krishna say, one who engage in the transcendental loving service is most intimately united with yoga. So this is the highest yogi when you are chant and you are perform devotional service to the Lord. Krishna declaring here, this is the greatest yogi. Just like if you are loving service means you are doing spontaneous love for Krishna. You do service for the Lord. Just like when a husband comes from work, come back home. So then the wife say, "Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you." But the husband asking for a cup of water, but he say, "Oh, I love you, I love you," but he's not giving anything. But he say, "Want to love, love." So love means some service, practical application, cook nice food, So that shows love and giving some necessity things. So they render service. So similarly, when you love God, loving service, loving relationship means you offer something to the Lord. You do some practical activities. So when you do practical activities for the Lord, like chanting, hearing, remembering, offering, talks about Him. So in this way, so the mind will be engaging. It's easy because when you are engaged in this way, it's easy. So it's practical also. Anyone can do. Even you don't need to go to the forest. You don't need to meditate. So in the asana, it's a difficult asana. So there's no hard and fast rule in chanting and remembering and engaging in devotion service. So this is the easiest process, and it's a practical process for this age of Kali. So this is what Krishna concluding in this chapter on Dhyana Yoga. Okay, so recap, we see in this chapter 6, we have seen advancing in Ashtanga Yoga, basic practice of Ashtanga Yoga, necessity of controlling the mind, and fate of unsuccessful yogi. So this four subject we learned today from Bhagavad Gita. What is this? The 6.6, the role of the mind as a friend or enemy. This is the role of mind. The mind can be friend as well as enemy. So when you control the mind, you become friend. Uncontrolled mind, you become enemy. So yeah. So then a manner of sitting. So we have seen also practice of your Astanga Yoga. The manner of sitting, you have to sit in the proper posture, in the proper kusagras and socha days. You have to look for holy place, is a secluded place. So all these you have to choose. You cannot simply anyway go and do a meditation. How to do meditate also there. You cannot close your eyes. You have to fix your nose. Your breathing, you have to control. So all these are there in the process of Astanga Yoga. And then what is the necessity of controlling the mind? The impractical, indurable is very impractical. And solution to the mind control. So we have seen. Then in short practice, heavenly planet and reborn in rich, pious family. So when you do this, fate of unsuccessful yogi, you come back again, you go to heavenly planet and reborn in the rich aristocratic families. Advancing yogis, birth in the family of transcendentalists. And number 5, the topmost yogi is who? Who is the topmost yogi?
Krishna.
Krishna. Krishna not a yogi. We are.
Shiva.
No. Who is the topmost yogi? We are seeing the text 647.
Oh, you mean that boy, Sucha?
No. What is the last verse we are seeing just now? 647. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatarantaratmana sadavan bhajanti yomam sayutatmamataha. This verse. The last verse, 647. This one. Even a better yogi is a devotee who worships Krishna.
The one with the great faith who always
abide in me. Abide in him, the Lord. Krishna said this, this is Krishna's opinion. 647, this verse. This verse, this verse. See, this is Krishna's opinion. This is my opinion, Krishna's opinion. Now, all the yogis on who great faith, who always abide in me, think of me within himself, render transcendental service to me, is the most intimately united with yoga and is the highest of all. This is Krishna's opinion, not my opinion or Prabhupada opinion or any other opinion, member's opinion. This is Krishna's opinion. So we have seen this. So let us see here. By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra constantly, one can fix the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Savay mana Krishna padara vindayo vasamsi vaikunta gunanu varmani. It says Srimad Bhagavatam 9:4-18, and in this way achieve the perfection of yoga. So it's a simple process. Just like Ambarish Maharaj was fixed his mind, think of Krishna, and he achieved perfection. So it's a very simple. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo. Padara vindayo means the lotus feet of. You just fix your mind. Your mind can be controlled by fixing our mind into lotus feet of the Lord. And chant is the holy name, then the mind should be controlled. It's easy actually. You can practice. Practice make perfect. Okay. So Hare Krishna. So we get a kit of the Bhagavad Gita kit. You please complete your certificate before 12 noon tomorrow. The quiz. So in order to get this certificate, please do that quiz by noon 12 tomorrow. Tomorrow noon you have to. By that you have to finish your quiz. So it's nice. Everyone can involve. And this is our headquarters, Kuala Lumpur. You have any questions? Any comments on mine? So mind control, very interesting topic, because the mind is actually can be a best friend actually. Mind is actually a best friend, and as many and as enemy as well. When you control, is the best friend. If you uncontrolled, is the greatest enemy. And yeah, so Krishna is giving this a practical aspect. Any questions? Ramanik Prabhu, you have any questions?
Maybe one question.
Mm.
Remember when Krishna said when you meditate, you should sit, you should, what do you call, put some kusa grass, then on top of it you put
Kusa
deer
grass.
skin. Deer skin. Of course, to put a deer skin, you have to kill a deer.
Yeah.
That means there's killing involved.
Yeah.
So how does that reconcile with the
Okay.
definition of killing here?
See, somehow or other they killing some is a natural death. You know, usually what happened in India, they also, you know, Dokla, the Mridanga, you know,
No.
Mridanga. When you play Mridanga bhajan, it's a Mridanga. So
The drum.
Drum, yes. The
Yes.
Mridanga also made from the skin, cow skin or goat skin.
I think it's mostly goat skin.
Goat skin. But our Mridanga in Mayapur, India, they made from cow. So it's actually, or buffalo. Actually, what happened? This is a natural death. When they die, you can take their skin and use it for this purpose. Sometimes the king will donate to the yogis those days, you know. So for them to do a meditation. Somewhere they're not involved in killing, because they're yogis. Yogis, they don't involve in killing. To kill and then I just want to meditate, I just kill. It's not a question of killing. It's question of after they die naturally, so you can utilize their skin for this purpose. And the purpose of the using their skin is to rid of all these reptiles, the snakes, the insects. So that's the reason. But actually, this is not practical, as Arjuna said, you know. But this is Ashtanga Yogi. They practice this for some yogi. They wanted to do some perfection of yoga. Mystical yogis, they do this practice. But it's not.
That means, Prabhu, all these Mridanga drums that we use in the temple. So it is deemed that the skin is from a dead animal, especially say from a goat skin.
Yeah.
But how sure are we? Because we are just buying. We don't know who the manufacturers are.
That's right. That part we are practical, but supposedly like we know, like in Mayapur, some place we are buying, so we are buying from the devotees. We know that that's dying naturally.
Because let's say, like when you go to a temple, we are also guys. We wear a belt. Belt is also from, more often than not, it's from a cow.
Belt, huh?
Yes, leather.
So actually, belt leathers we won't use. For devotee, they are not encouraged to use leather stuff, you know. But this is all using for the service of Krishna, like drums, bhajans, all these are utilizing for the Lord's pleasure. Like for us, we are not using leather, not recommend, because some killing may involve, you know, we never, because this is more commercial purpose, you know, people do this, they kill. Like in the drums all they do in the village, so they are simple people, no?
I see.
They're not like commercial, like industrious, like people. Like Prabhupada said, like maintaining the slaughterhouse, you know. So even the modern civilization, even in the scripture, they says, "Thou shalt not kill," all this. So then Jesus, Prabhupada used to say, you know, Jesus doesn't say that you have to maintain the slaughterhouse. You know, if you can't kill living entities, other living entities, then why you have to maintain the slaughterhouse? So this is the industries. Want to,
Robert, just one question. Huh? Like just now you mentioned that let's say an animal dies naturally.
naturally.
We can use. Now let's say an animal dies naturally, hypothetically speaking. Can we consume the meat? Is the meat in this case Krishna friendly or not Krishna friendly?
Okay, in one part, no, not Krishna friendly, because let me, a very good question, because this question, the same question asked by someone and Prabhupada answered this question. Prabhupada say, if that's naturally the animal die, if you cannot control your tongue, you can eat, there's no sin. But it's interesting, but the food also that we will be seeing in the chapter 14, the food also divided into 3 categories: mood of goodness, passion, ignorance. So the food in the mood of ignorance means that dead body, the dead
of the animal,
the animal,
the
so
meat of the animal.
Animal. Meat of the animal. It means it's in the mood of ignorance. So ignorance doesn't help you. We'll be seeing in that later chapter about food. So that's the reason we are not consuming. It's not Krishna friendly. So Krishna friendly, what Krishna friendly is, Krishna say in the chapter 9, text 26, Krishna say, Patram pushpam palam toyam vyome bhakti priyasate tad aham bhakti upatam asnami priya tatmanaha. It says, Patram pushpam palam toyam. It says, fruits, water, flower, and leaf. You offer me with the love and devotion, I'll accept it. So only 3. If Krishna say, you offer me meat, you offer me fish, you offer me egg, with the love and devotion, I'll accept it. If Krishna say that, we can offer. But Krishna doesn't say that. So we not offer.
Yeah.
But we are talking about for common people, no? For common people, you cannot control tongue. So they want to eat meats. Okay, let the animal die naturally. Because when you kill, whatever when kill involves, so you're obliged to take a karma. So you have to take birth again. You become an animal and then they have to kill you. This is a karma, this is a cycle.
So like Prabhu, example, if if an animal is alive and we slaughter, as you say, it's bad karma.
Yeah.
Okay. But if we consume the meat of an animal that has already been died naturally, is it also bad karma?
No, not bad karma. Because you're not killing. Because killing is not involved.
So we can consume for our own personal.
Yeah, but it is mood of ignorance.
Ignorance.
Yes.
Is something that it is not advisable.
Advisable and
not recommended. Yes.
Not recommended. Unless you are really like people are hankering for eating. So they allow. Even in Markandeya Purana, so, is mentioned if someone cannot control the tongue, so he has to, in the Amavasa, the dark moon, once in a month, dark moon, you offer a goat to the Kali, Durga, and then you have to chant the mantra, Mamisam iti kadachi mamisam. It means the mamisa, mam means meat. So now I cannot control my tongue. I have to kill you. It's like what do you call? Is dealing with the goat.
Yes, yes.
I killing you this life. Next time I come become goat, you kill me. So it's just like have an agreement.
Even though it's offered to Durga, to Kali.
Yes, yes, too.
Because I've also spoken to some people, Prabhu, like who have who pray, who are elevated, and these people, they pray to Muniswaran, Madhurivida, Priyandavan, Madasami, and of course some pray to Kali in his various forms, where they do offerings. So the thing is, what it's being mentioned that according to them, they said that when you offer an animal to be slaughtered, let's say example to Muniswaran, That animal is considered to be a very fortunate animal, because once you're offering it, that means the Lord here, let's say Buddhiswara, no, Madhurigiri, whoever, takes it. That means the animal, the soul of the animal need not undergo birth and death, but that means it achieves moksha. It did not come back. But if the devotees around there feels pity for the goat, I mean, it's just a goat, during slaughtering as an offering to Muniswara, there, then Muniswara, Marasami, Priyandavan, they don't want to take it. So they say, if you offer willingly, that goat is a very fortunate goat, because it will never undergo anymore the cycle of death and being alive and death. I mean, it achieves moksha. So there's this group who says that.
Okay, Prabhu, I just want to refer from the scriptures, maybe you say that. But in the scripture, mentioned in the Kali Yuga, we are talking about Kali Yuga, animal sacrifice is forbidden. Yes, before animal sacrifice is done by the Brahmanas about maybe 2000 years ago. Animal sacrifice done, and how they do in the Vedas also mentioned animal sacrifice, but that method is different from what they're doing now. This is totally want to eat to the meat, that's all, for sense gratifications, not for pleasing the Lord, nothing. This is what happened 2000 years ago. You know reason why Lord Buddha appeared? The purpose of Lord Buddha appear just to stop this violence. This is violence, it's not moksha.
That means the killing of animals.
Yes, killing of animals, purposely to kill, and then they sacrifice. Because in Kali Yuga, the animal sacrifice is forbidden. The example I give, before Buddha appear, there's people are follow the Vedas, they do animal sacrifice. So what they do yaga, they offer, after the success of, they want to test whether the yagna, the fire sacrifice success or not, whether the Lord is pleased or not, they put animals, the cow, whatever, inside the fire, and then they get a better body, turn to better body, you know, human body, moksha. So they get this. But somehow or other, what happened, the Brahmanas, the priests who are doing that, they are not very pure. So what happened, when they are not pure enough, so the animal got killed, die, and then they take as a meat. Or this is sacrifice being done, or we are take as a meat. So because this is not done properly, so this is a sin actually. So that's why Lord Buddha came. Krishna incarnation, Krishna incarnated Lord Buddha is a Ahimsa Parama Dharma. Ahimsa Parama Dharma means the highest is teach about non-violence. You shouldn't violence. So Buddha's teaching is, Lord Buddha appeared just to stop the violence, because the Brahmana is not pure, and then they're killing all these animals, and they've been sacrificed the name of sacrificing to the Lord. But it's not happened, because in Kali Yuga it's not recommended.
You see, Prabhu, this does happen. Just to digress a little bit, because normally during Vesak Day, in Ipoh, I used to go to a Buddhist temple those days when I was staying in Ipoh. Every year during Vesak Day, we go light up oil, everything, all that. Then the evening, they have prayers, all that. Then dinner is served. So every year, and it's always vegetarian. Then there was a 1 year when we were sitting down, I was sitting down, and meat was offered to everybody to consume. So I was very surprised.
Yeah.
Because as you have said, Buddha came here to stop all this ahimsa, non-violence. So I called one of the Sevadar and say, how come you are providing meat? That time the meat was chicken. Why are you providing meat? Buddha is vegetarian. Horse killing and all that, ahimsa. So he says, according to Buddhist teaching, whatever people give in donation, we must take. If people give, we take.
Yeah.
So he says Buddha himself took pork before he died, and the pork was basically fungus infected. So you cannot say no. Whatever people give, you take.
But they give poison, you take, is it?
That's what he says. That's why Buddha died in this. So he said when they give chicken, we have people donated chicken because normally people donate oil, people donate food, rice,
But in the Buddhist also there's a two, one Mahayana and one is another one.
There are three there.
Three. So one is actually,
yes.
But one is vegetarian actually. This other one is not veggie. So there are also vegetarians mentioned. You know, because that's the real Buddha. Buddha means teaching. Buddha, Lord Buddha's teaching is non-violent. Ahimsa Parama Dharma. What is Ahimsa Parama Dharma? Non-violence.
Yes.
You know.
But Prabhu, the Buddhists, they may not eat meat, but they eat fish.
Yeah. Yeah, that is considered. That is
considered.
No,
and I know Brahmins, the Brahmanas in my state, that is West Bengal in India.
West Bengal, yeah.
Yeah, they eat fish.
Kadapushpam, yeah. Kadapushpam is also seen.
It's considered veggie, I think, for the Brahmanas.
Even the Buddhists also, some of the Buddhists, it's the egg also veggie. It's all their conceptions, you know. But the soul is...
when we go to ISKCON temple, they cook without onion and garlic, and onion and garlic is veggie.
Yeah. Yeah. So your question is why not onion garlic?
No, onion garlic, they say it's because of the energy or something they have.
No,
they create arousal or something.
Yeah, sexual gratification. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, onion garlic is stimulations. Actually, it's a mood of passion. Mood of passion. So food which is mood of passion is not, it says it's not helpful for spiritual progress. You know. So whatever favorable for devotional service, we accept. What is unfavorable, we reject. So that's why we are not saying, oh, we cannot eat that. We can eat, but is it favorable or not favorable for your spiritual upliftment? So there's an alternative that you can take. That's alternative. You're not fanatic, but is Krishna say, it's favorable thing you take, unfavorable you reject. Is it helpful for your spiritual life? You take. It's not helpful for your spiritual life, you don't take. It's all. So sometimes people think, oh, we are fanatic. It's not fanatic. Is sometimes if like really you need for the medical purpose, okay, fine enough. You're not for consuming for your sense gratification, but it's consuming for some medical purpose. But that's not regularly. It's only once in a while you're going to take this, you know, as a medicine. But if you have any other alternative to take, you can consume that. So that's why surrendering to the Lord, practicing devotion service means to accept whatever favorable for our devotion service, unfavorable you reject. So it means if the meat is not favorable, you reject. If the onion garlic is not favorable for your service, you reject. That's all. You know.
What about cooking in the vessels where non-veg has been cooked?
That's not also good. Not good.
But so it's washed.
You can wash with the cow dung, purified. Purified.
Wash with soap.
Cow dung, cow urine is purified. If there's no choice, you know, you can do that.
Medically speaking, the doctors will never allow washing with cow dung.
No, but actually, then that means ISKCON devotees can never go outside and eat.
There's one scientist in Calcutta. Calcutta, they research. They say actually cow dung is mentioned of thousands of years ago is antiseptic.
Yes,
and
true.
Now the Calcutta, the scientists, they come up that yes, cow dung is an antiseptic. That's why in the house you see in India they mold with the cow dung.
Yes.
Very pure.
Patties, cow dung patties.
Cow dung patties. They cook in the cow dung. So all these are very nice.
Agree.
Yeah. So those who have engaged their life in say Krishna devotion, what if they want to go outside and eat in a restaurant?
Restaurant? Which restaurant?
No, I'm saying they not. Then they can't go and eat outside, right?
No, there are devotees. Sometimes, yeah, they look for vegetarian place. Sometimes what we do, our devotee when they travel, they cook by themselves. You know, like see, we have our family devotees who are having a grasta family life. So early morning they cooked and then they packed and then they give to their husband to work, the children. I've seen many devotees do that, you know. The wife will cook. I think maybe Komati Mataji may do that also. Keep practicing. So,
but then the children will be deprived of the other things, right? If
No.
they want to see their friends eating that, this and that.
So that's why
will-
they cook nice food. That's why one Mataji, I remember one Mataji in somewhere in KL. So they will cook nice food, nice prasadam, so that they know temptation for the children to take
Okay.
outside food. It all depends on the parents, how they prepare and they get the home food.
Yes. If I Prabhu, I would say, for all intent and purposes, vegetarian food is the best.
That's yeah.
Yes. And what do you call
and Krishna say we are not vegetarian, we are Krishnatarian.
Yeah.
We take Krishna prasadam.
Yes. And in the vegetarian, you have a lot of recipes. In fact,
Yeah.
if once you have sort of embraced those vegetarian recipes, you will completely forget about meat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, no craving
Then-
for meat. Once you start imbibing vegetarian food, the different
Right.
varieties,
Correct.
different style of cooking, you'll forget about meat. As you
Yes.
say, once you're elevated, you forget something that's better.
You come
forget
to
that
Hare
it's the
Krishna temple, bro.
I've been there many times.
To take our prasadam, so the people forget about meat.
I've taken.
Okay.
So when you get higher taste, you won't go for lower taste.
Of course.
Just like a example of a cycle, motorbike, and
Yeah,
car.
that's the same example. Yes.
Okay, nice discussion. So if any other point? Oh, I didn't finish that Buddhist, the sacrifice. I done.
And you have done it. You have done it.
Done it, yeah. Actually, then only when Buddha came, he rejected Vedas. So when the Vedas been rejected, then only Sankaracharya came. That's the history.
But why Buddha rejected Vedas?
Vedas, yes.
Why is that
Because-
so? I thought Vedas there's a lot of teachings.
Vedas, because Vedas saying the sacrifice, animal sacrifice, all that.
Okay,
So they say Buddhists only teach about ahimsa.
Non-violence.
That's why then to bring back Sankaracharya came. Sankaracharya is preached on Mayavadi philosophy. Then later we will discuss on this big topic.
Okay.
How India, Buddhists away from India. That's why we went to Sri Lanka and China, all this.
Yes. But it didn't take a stronghold in India.
Yeah, because
Second
Sankaracharya,
Yes.
Sankaracharya came, Adi Sankara came. Adi Sankara is preached about Mayavadi philosophy. Because Buddhist philosophy is voidism, white, zero. And from zero, Sankaracharya bring it one. One means one. Everything is one. You one, God one, everyone is God. So that's Mayavadi philosophy. And then Vaishnava Acharya, like Ramuni Acharya, Madhu Acharya, they came, they say two. Two means Jiva and Paramatma. The Jiva and the super soul is two different. It's not one. Then only other, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he preached about Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Simultaneously one, we are also one with God, but quantitatively we are different. So there's a difference also between God and us. We are not in the same. So this philosophy comes, different philosophy after that. Okay.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your kind patience.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow until
Bye.
Friday. So every week we have this, every day this week until Friday.
Okay.
So tomorrow is chapter 7. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.